back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. Today is my 3-year channel anniversary. It is beyond insane. For the occasion, we're going to be making over my 5 original Gen 1 Sims since it was pretty high demand, which is going to be Zinnia, Magnolia, Seraphina, Griffin, and Callie. I was honestly surprised that this was something that you guys wanted so badly because I feel like my style has not changed enough. But also I was thinking it could just be fun to give them new hairs and makeovers as if they're my current Sims. They're all dead, so I'm like, okay, that sounds fun actually. While I make them over, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what I've been up to since my disappearance 8 months ago. Obviously, this year was a bit of an up and down type of year. I've been struggling since the very beginning of this year. I don't know how clear that was from my videos, but I was just really struggling the whole time to pop them out. And I just stopped 8 months ago when I got a new job and started going to school again. It was a lot harder than the last few years. And I just physically did not have the time to come back. And I honestly don't know for sure if I still do. I have been spending a lot of time on channel stuff and not much on my other stuff I like to do. But that also could be just because I'm excited to get back into Sims. And if I want to, I'm allowed to spend as much time as I want on this, my free time. But I will say, before I left, my free time had been completely taken over by making videos when I didn't want it to be. I have been working on a video game project for longer than I've had a channel, and for a year or so there I didn't work on it at all. I just dropped it completely because I didn't have time, because I wanted to be consistent on here. I'd like things to not go that way anymore. I'd like to post a amount that makes my balance between work, school, videos, and video game making a little bit more balanced. I just finished third generation of the Chromatic Legacy Challenge, which is pretty exciting because I've been going on it for 2 years. Hopefully no other generation will take that long. But I've really just been wanting to finish what I start. So before I hop into Gen 4 of Chromatic, I'll be finishing the main plot of Dead of Night, which is my Rosewood series. Because Dead of Night needs a little bit of focus. I'm definitely never gonna try to do anything as ambitious as Sapphire Cliffs or Dead of Night again, but I don't want to just drop Dead of Night, and I don't want to drop my Rosewood Legacy. So we're just gonna try to finish it at a slow pace that is appropriate for the amount of time I have. I am happy to be back, a little nervous about it, but when I wasn't stressing out and forcing myself to make cinematic masterpiece like in the prologue in Bubblegum Gen, I was so happy. And I do miss making videos. I missed you guys so much, and I was looking back at my both of my series and my Pride video from last year, and it just makes me so warm and happy. And I know it's not practical, but I do want to feel that again. And I do know that there are like very, very slim amount of people, like 3 people who love my series, and I feel like that's enough for me to want to, at the very least, give them closure. I'm really grateful if you stayed around during my hiatus, because it was unpredictable where I was going to go, if I was going to go anywhere at all. And I honestly wasn't planning on coming back, but here I am. And it's been going pretty well so far, I'd say. This is my second time trying to record this voiceover because the first time I couldn't even get out of bed, so I just decided to make it in bed, and you could hear the tiredness and disenthusiasm in my voice, and maybe you still can, but I'm a little more awake now at least, so we'll do it now. Don't know why I've just been feeling so awful the last couple days, but anyway, doesn't matter. I'll be doing what I can to post once a week. It's not gonna happen every week because some episodes are gonna take a lot longer than a week to create, if night episodes specifically. And some weeks are just going to be cast videos because they're all that I can muster up. But again, no matter what I do, I'm trying to remind myself it's going to be better than being absent for 8 months. So just a quick detour to talk a little bit about makeovers that I'm doing, because I should talk about them a little bit, and I have a little bit to say about them, not too much. But for first off, do you think they're improvements? Because I'm a little conflicted. I want to say no doubt that my new versions are better, but the old versions are like the versions that we grew to love, so I don't feel like it's appropriate to say that these versions are better, because the old ones are the originals. I don't know. It's not that I don't like the new versions, I just can't tell if it's actually like better or not. Seraphina, I realized halfway through her makeover that her nose is completely different. Like, That's just not her nose, and I didn't realize that because I haven't looked at her in such a long time. All my other Sims I've looked at least a little bit recently, but it's been so long since Seraphina passed in my game, so it's been a while since I saw her, and I didn't realize that her nose had completely changed. And that's really weird because I got her directly from the first prologue episode Tri-Files, so I think maybe I got rid of her nose preset or something on accident. I tried remaking the nose to look like her actual nose, but it's not really perfect. They don't have the right preset, and you can't really morph one preset into another, unfortunately. And I apologize right now because if you're watching the video, like, it's barely watchable. It is so sped up, but there's like nothing I can do because I'm not making this video extra long just because I'm so slow at making sibling casts, and I just can't make them go any slower without this video being very long. I like Zinnia's new makeover, but I will say that I accidentally did kind of make over her into teen Zinnia. The version of her that I made over was technically adult Zinnia, but just the style and look of it really reminded me of teen Zinnia, so I was like, this is probably just like a new version of teen Zinnia instead of being adult Zinnia, which is fine because teen Zinnia was really important to the story, obviously. I did end up making some kind of big changes for both Seraphina and Zinnia after I was done recording, because for Zinnia, I gave her a hair recolor. For Seraphina, I changed the entire shape of her nose, so I'll put pictures of that at the end of the speed cast because what you're seeing me make is not exactly the finished result. I'm really happy actually with how Magnolia turned out. I honestly have always thought there was something a little bit off about Magnolia, and I think it was the eyes. They were just too like wide horizontally, and it just looked really it weirded me out for some reason, so I just edited her just a little bit and it looked a lot better, and her makeover just turned out real pretty. I think that Griffin was not very hard. I think I made him look a little more realistic than he did look, but man, he's just such a handsome Sim, and I'm really proud of myself for making him look like that. Like, I did good, but then I did run into an issue while I was makeovering Griffin, where every time I tried to put clothes on him, he just wouldn't wear them. So it was like a UI issue. I had 50/50 all my mods folders, which is super fun, of course, just to put clothes on Griffin because he wouldn't put them on. And I figured it out eventually. And Callie wasn't a very hard girl makeover. I just gave her a very artsy look, but also the look of obviously a girl who's on the ranch all the time, because she's married to Griffin, so she's gonna be on the ranch all the time. And I think she just turned out with the exact essence of Callie. I would really hope that all of them came out with like the perfect essence for, the character that they are. I was a little worried that they'd turn out not looking like themselves, especially after Seraphina, because I was confused why her nose was completely different. But in the end, I think they ended up looking like themselves. I think my new style is maybe a little more glowy than my old style, if that makes sense. And honestly, I just had fun giving them new outfits because I haven't dressed these guys in a while. Anyway, last year I posted my anniversary video, and I had a good amount, and in that year I had finished Sapphire Cliffs, I did Cherry Gen, and started Dead of Night. I also did my Life and Death miniseries, and this year my progress was very slim because I'm still on Cherry and Dead of Night, and I did do another miniseries, which I'm not as proud of as the Life and Death miniseries, but it was okay. And so I guess I could count that as like something I did differently than last year, which makes me feel a little better because I feel like I have made no progress since last year. Again, being gone for 8 out of 12 months is kind of a big deal, so you can't really expect me to have made that much change. I digress. So next week I'm gonna show you another current household update. I know it's been just a moment since my last one, but I've just been really using that household to get back into playing The Sims because I did not play The Sims during my break. And I've just been playing them as much as I want to so that I can just play The Sims whenever I want to. So I made it to the end of my second generation's teen years, and I'll be sharing that with you next week, and then we're gonna have a good run of just straight up Dead of Night videos. The reason I didn't jump into that right away is I have needed to give myself a little bit of a cushion to make complex dead of night videos with. So like there's been a lot of videos that I've been posting that take less time than a typical pixie video, which gives me the opportunity to spend more time on these upcoming dead of night episodes, which will make it seem more consistent than it was. So hopefully you guys are excited for Dead of Night. Hopefully you guys are excited for Periwinkle Gen. I know it's not like super close to the horizon and I really feel bad about that because we're gonna have so much fun once we get there. We just can't do it right now because we're gonna focus a little bit more on Isadora. But I'll tell you, once I get out of the craziness of Dead of Night, like the absolutely insanity that's going on right now, we're gonna have a lot of fun with both Rhea and Isadora. Well, fun isn't the right word for all of the scenarios that they'll be put in, but I digress. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed these makeovers, and I'll see you guys next time. Can't wait to show you all the new stuff. Just get back into Legacies and get back to you guys talking about my Sims because it's so much fun. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.